Hello and welcome to the North Country Outdoor Channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope you're doing what makes you happy and you're not letting anything hold you back. I'm actually sitting here, and I've been sitting here for 15 minutes. Check this out. This guy has got it freaking made in the shade. They're doing road construction, and I've been sitting here, and they apparently don't want me to go because I've been sitting here for so long. But I actually just got done with a job, and I'm taking the chipper back to the rental company, and I want to take a minute and talk about employees, hiring employees. And this isn't going to be a video about, 1099 tax forms, W-2 tax forms, payroll, workman's comp. It's not going to be about that. It's going to simply be about work ethic. And I honestly, for the most part, I work with family. My dad works for me, my brother-in-law works for me, my uncle works for me, and my brother works for me time to time. Now, we have had some outsiders come in, and actually I just had to let one go because it wasn't working out. He wasn't making the best choices, and, I don't just have anybody working for me, I have family working for me, so, I'm not saying that I wouldn't care for other people, but I care for my family very deeply. And when you're doing dangerous work like tree removal, when people aren't making good decisions, it's putting lives in jeopardy, and that's not okay with me. So he didn't work out. There was another guy that I had that was a really great worker. I gave him a company vehicle. I gave him a company phone. I thought it was going to be awesome, and then he got himself into drugs and quit showing up. So I had to go take my truck back and the phone back, and that exploded. So I just want you to know that it's a pain in my ass working with family. It really is. It's not terrible, but there's times where it's tough, button heads. And bless my father. It's tough for him because obviously he's my father. All growing up, he was my boss, and now the table's turned, and I'm his boss. Same as my uncle. I've always been his little nephew, and now I'm the boss. Although I don't come across like that. I don't try to boss them around per se. They make really good decisions, so I just kind of let them do their thing, and if I need to say something, I do. Now, why do I work with family if it's such a pain in the butt? Well, it's pretty simple. It's not that big of a pain in the butt, but I do butt heads with my dad, and sometimes, not all the time, I butt heads with my brother, sometimes, not all the time, but it's extremely hard when I butt heads with my dad because he is my father, and he did raise me, and he raised me, obviously, good to do what I'm doing right now, to become an entrepreneur, to have the mindset and the skills to own a company. Good job, Dad. So when we butt heads and I need to say something, it's almost, to me, disrespectful to him, which it shouldn't be because it's my company, but I don't want to talk to him like that. Like, I don't want to come across like that. But at that point, he's not my father, he's my employee. So that's a really, really skinny line. And it's getting easier. But the reason that I work with family is simple: loyalty. My dad and my uncle, my dad's been with me longer than my uncle has. My dad's the most loyal employee I've ever had and probably ever will have. He's slowing down, he's not getting any younger, but you know what? When he says he's going to be there, he's there. When I call, he answers the phone and he comes running. And it's like, would you rather butt heads every once in a while and work with family, or would you rather hire a bunch of yahoos that ain't worth $8 an hour that don't show up, and then you can't do your work for the day, and you have to explain to the customer why you can't do the work, and then you're trying to do the work yourself, but it's really you can't do it yourself, but you try to do it yourself so you look good to the customer like you're doing at least some part of what you said you were going to do, but then you really look like a jackass because you can't do it alone because it's a multi-person job, and it's just a freaking fiasco. I don't have to deal with that, y'all. My family's there. They're there for me. And if they're not, I'll drive to their house, I'll beat on their door, and I'll drag them out of bed. Never had to do it, though. So it's just, people don't want to work. And so here's the thing. We have this thing in this country called unemployment and an unemployment rate. And although it's not through the roof right now, it should be at like 0.5% in my opinion. There's hundreds of thousands of trades jobs out there. that people just don't want to work because they're flat out lazy. They do not want to work. They're like, oh, manual labor? I don't want to do that. I want to sit at home and play on Facebook, and I want to walk around town with my phone, and I want to take selfies, brah. Let's take some selfies, and let's do weird Snapchatties. I don't even have Snapchat. Why? Because if you want to send me a picture, text me a damn picture. I'm not hating on the people that have Snapchat. Whatever, it's fun. I guess it's fun. I don't have time for it personally. So anyway, people would rather be wrapped up into their electronics and this and that and the other thing. So then that brings me to my next point, which has absolutely nothing to do with this video, but kind of does. We bitch about the borders. No, I don't think that we should have open borders, but people sit there, and the same person that's sitting on their couch that won't go get a job saying, oh, the immigrants are flooding into this country and taking all the American jobs. No, the immigrants are coming into this country and they're doing the jobs that you, the person sitting on their couch, won't do. Now, do I agree with that? Not 100%. I don't. But at the end of the day, somebody has to do it. And if the own American people aren't going to do it, these companies need somebody to do it. So most of them come from Mexico. No, I'm not profiling here. I'm not profiling Mexicans. I'm not doing none of that stuff. I'm just simply saying these Mexican people, they work hard and they work for cheap and they're proud of what they do and they're just good employees. You can't find somebody to work that cheap for that good. That's why these people are coming to this country. If we would get off our asses, especially the millennials, and I tell you what, the baby boomers are retiring right now in flocks. And a lot of them are working them trade jobs. And them jobs ain't getting filled. So we want to sit there and say that there aren't any jobs, but there are jobs. You're just too lazy to work the damn job. I digress a little bit here. I'm not saying that, that some of that sounded very left and very democratic of me. And that's not who I am. I'm not a Democrat. Hate me if you want to. I'm more Republican. But you can't sit there and say that these immigrants are taking jobs away from the American people when the American people weren't going to work those jobs in the first place. Anyways, that's my say on working with family and hiring employees. In a different video, we will get into workman's comp and W-2s and tax forms and all that good stuff and what you have to do to have an employee and how much does that employee cost you on top of their hourly rate to have them as an employee. We'll get into all that stuff because as a business owner, that's what I do. So just remember, tomorrow is a new day. If today sucked, I am sorry, but you know what? Wake up tomorrow, do what makes you happy, don't let anything hold you back, and own that sucker. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget, I love you guys. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.